Waverly in and is beginning to be pushed down. There were some questions when the curves were put in. Are we in fact going down to one lane in each direction and a turning lane? That is my understanding. The initial communications were that was not going to happen. We had a set, and I went back and looked in my emails, a set of subsequent emails that did describe and outline that they were in fact going to be putting in a middle lane with the other lanes, go one in each direction, and curbs out. And so I wanted to clarify that because that had become quite a question, is that they had changed what they said they were going to do. There were initial discussions, they acknowledged that, said this is what we began the discussions at, we then pared it back, we began to look at what we really needed, and we made the change, and we sent that letter out to all of the neighborhood associations and the residents of that area. Is that, I see heads nodding, is that something that is resonating or matching your recollection of it?
Familiar. Yes.
Okay, okay, Mr.
I
Hubbard.
wanted to state that at one time past, I actually had a car rear-ended because it was in the left turn, it was in the left lane waiting to turn left. And I think if you get a turn line in there, maybe that'll alleviate some of that problem.
And I was to say, many of the neighbors complained about it literally being, because there are so many major entryways into neighborhoods on each side of Holmes Road. I mean, they're thoroughfares. There's Vikings, you're going to Deerfield, you've got Churchill Downs, all of that comes off, Averill comes off of Holmes Road. And individuals were starting to stop, and people just, the rear end numbers were pretty high. And so I'm hopeful for this, and you guys will have to give me feedback as we get the road open, that is actually what is transpiring, was the intention of this new configuration of the road. Anita?
Has there been an update about what's going to happen at the corner of Pleasant Grove and Holmes?
There has not, beyond, there were still discussions on the last piece. We thought we had the right-of-way issue settled with the school. We had said that almost a year ago, and then the last I knew, they had gone back into discussions because the school's owner, that physical building owner, is planning to lease it or sell it to either the tenants that are in there now and they can't afford to buy it, or someone else that is going to buy it and allow them to lease it. So that has changed kind of the whole flavor, because they don't want to give a right-of-way and they're selling it, and then that would take away some of their ability to sell it, is what they've said. They want to keep it in the current format. Not that they've got a lot of interest right now, so I don't know why they wouldn't go forward and make some changes ahead of time instead of making a new owner come in and make the changes. But that put a little bit of a stall on the discussion, so I will keep asking about where we're at with that, but that was the last update that I got.
Yeah, because if they don't, it would be a wise thing for, as far as I can see, and I've heard comments, to have a turn signal going north and south as well as east and west, because it does get pretty hairy at that corner.
Especially during school times, because it gets pretty backed up. The difficulty was when we did that last time, they got some negative feedback. I said, yeah, but you didn't notify anybody before, you just slapped the lines down, and then you didn't put a corresponding turn signal in. So, yeah, but folks loved it, but people were just not aware. They started coming up and they weren't paying attention. There's no turn signal to correspond to this new turn lane. It was just the regular lights. So there needed to be some tweaking of that, and I think they're working on some of that as well before they go forward, that they actually lay the groundwork. Move from that
And that's
vantage
why
point.
that corner is a problem.
In general.
It really is.